What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. You know who I am. Welcome back to another episode of Film Stock Reviews. In this episode, I'm reviewing Godzilla vs. Kong. The epic battle between two titans is finally here, and it didn't disappoint at all. I went into this movie with very high expectations because it was supposed to come out in the summer of 2020. Of course, we all know with the pandemic, it got pushed back. We didn't know when it was going to come out, but then it was said that it would be released simultaneously on March 31st, 2021 on HBO Max and in theaters. This movie gets right into it. We find out that Godzilla is causing havoc and being unprovoked and just destroying things, but we don't know why. Only Godzilla senses certain things and knows why. And with that, they use Kong to lure Godzilla out. And with that, the epic showdown begins. There is close to about maybe 3 fight scenes between the two titans, and like I said, you have the aircraft carrier scene, the fight scene in Hong Kong, and there's another fight scene at the end between another titan, or so to speak. I don't want to give any spoilers away about what happens in this movie because you have to see it to believe it. Now, the underlining characters, which are the human characters, are not that much prevalent in this movie. Of course, they're not in any prevalence at all in any of the Godzilla Kong movies because they're just there. We're not here to watch the humans in this movie. We're here to see Godzilla and Kong. Now, basically, the story is about how certain scientists have a way to want to get to Hollow Earth, the center of the Earth. And with that, we find out the history that Godzilla and Kong, their rivals, have been going on for centuries, but they don't explain why. I would have liked to have seen that, how they rival back to one another and who fought and who won. There's a so-called axe that Kong has to find in order to defeat Godzilla, so to speak. And this is his way of, dethroning the king of the monsters. Now, this is a sequel to Godzilla King of the Monsters and Kong Skull Island. And, this is the 4th and latest entry into the Monsterverse. Granted, they had Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of the Monsters, and now Godzilla vs. Kong. I would like to see this movie go forward and, branch out as well. I want to get more movies of Godzilla, more movies of Kong. And there's a reason that he's not called King Kong yet. And I'm pretty sure I know why. But, the crazy thing about this movie is that the cinematic aspect is fantastic. The sheer size of these two is immense. And when you see them fighting on the aircraft carrier and in the water, in the ocean, your mind is blown. I mean, everything went into detail into making these characters larger than life, and they didn't disappoint. I did like the character of Brian Tyree Henry as a podcaster and a conspiracy theorist trying to figure out what's happening with Godzilla, why he's doing it, and who he is and what all these titans are. And the other interesting factor is that Millie Bobby Brown reprises her role from Godzilla King of the Monsters, as does Kyle Chandler, who plays her father in the movie. We haven't seen Kyle Chandler in a Kong movie since he did King Kong, which was directed by Peter Jackson. Damian Bashir as the villain Simmons is really good, and I wanted more of him just to see what his factor is in this movie, but he was very subtle because we know why in the end he is in this movie. And there's another character in this who works with Simmons who is related to one of the previous characters in the Godzilla films, and I just wanted more. It felt like it was a waste and it didn't serve any purpose. Like I said, some of these characters didn't serve a purpose at all. They were just there to drive the story forward, which they did. Rebecca Hall's character was really, really good. The young girl in this was fantastic. She wants to communicate with Kong. She does that with Kong by doing sign language, and Alexander Skarsgård was okay in the movie. He wasn't that much of a, shown here and there. If you combine all the human elements in this movie, it's really, really short because, hey, like I said, when you're watching Godzilla and Kong go at it, all right, that's great. All of a sudden, then the human element factor comes in and it slows down the movie. We get to Godzilla, goes back up again. We get to Kong, it goes back up again. We see all these elemental things happening in this movie that it didn't feel like a long movie at all. I thought that just putting them together would be a waste, but it wasn't. The filmmakers did have a story, and director Adam Wingard had a phenomenal way of putting things together. Listen, this is one of the most epic movies you will ever see and ever watch. I wanted more of Monarch in this, even though they were very prevalent in Godzilla King of the Monsters and the 2014 Godzilla version. We find out why Monarch is doing certain things that they're doing and what their purpose is in the world. And there's a new company out called Apex in this, which is just thrown in there probably to be one of those villain companies that everybody has in these science fiction creature feature movies. But other than that, this movie was really in your face, really fun to watch. The only thing that I didn't like about this movie, of course, is always the human aspect of things. And if they develop those characters a little bit more, and they just don't throw it in there and just say, hey, here are the human elements and factors of the characters, and we're just going to drive the story along because they have to get something for one of the Titans, and we use them as that reason, and then it goes on from there. The final battle scene between Godzilla, Kong, and of course there's another, is really, really good. It's very short. I wanted this other so-called Titan, if you want to say, to be more prevalent, but maybe total it was in it for about 5 minutes of the movie. But it worked. It really worked. The tagline of the movie is "One will fall." Who will fall is the question. When you watch this, you really find out that both of them really kick the shit out of each other, and it's crazy. Godzilla has one upper hand, Kong has the upper hand. When they fight, it's just back and forth. And you just can't say, you're just sitting there on the edge of your seat saying, holy shit. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, I had very high expectations for this movie. The highest I've ever had for a movie, because I love movies like this. They're just in-your-face fight scenes, monster titan creature feature films of the old pastime movies that are updated today, but it works. Godzilla vs. Kong for me gets 5 out of 5 stars. Well, like I said, hey, you probably wondering why 5 out of 5 stars? Why? Well, I liked it. I'm not going to let the human characters, dumb down my rating of what this movie is. The human characters are there for serve a purpose for a reason, and that purpose is given clearly. This is not a hard movie to follow. It's not confusing. It's right there, front and center, and explains every single thing to you about what's going on. If you can't follow a story like this, something's wrong with you. The movie comes in less than 2 hours, so it's a quick watch. It's out on HBO Max and in theaters. The movie should be witnessed in theaters because of the grand scale and effects that are in this movie. But hey, if you want to watch it on HBO Max, do that. I watched it on HBO Max and I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was in the comfort of my own home, and hey, I'll definitely watch it again before it goes off of HBO Max. Like I said, I'm hoping that we get more Kong and Godzilla movies, but we will see how this does at the box office in the theaters. So let me know in the comment section below what you thought about Godzilla vs. Kong. Did you see it? Did you like it? What did you think about it? And did you not like it? And what did you think about my opinions in my review? Did you think that the human characters were just there to serve a purpose for these Titans? And what did you think about the fight scenes between Godzilla and Kong? Were they overwhelming? Were they unexpected? Or did you actually expect it to be what it was? Let me know in the comment section below. And be sure you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for new videos on my channel. And you know where to follow Market Productions and me, Mr. Filmstock. I'll leave a link to all the social media accounts in the description box below. You guys can check it out and follow along. I'm Anthony. Thanks for tuning in.